Hi everyone, this is Dave from Geekanoids and this is my continued coverage of the Sony Ericsson Aino mobile phone. In this video I'm going to be covering the texting ability, the multimedia playback and the camera feature of the Sony Ericsson Aino. So let's kick things off with some texting. So I'm going to go into the main menu and into messaging, and in here I'm just going to select Write New and I'm going to select New Text Message. Now I'm presented with a screen where I can type my message. This is Predictive Texting switched on, and I'm going to just show you the keyboard area. Very nicely spaced keys, nice and large but quite flat, and not a lot of tactile feedback. I'm going to actually just set this down on my table to make this a little bit easier for the camera to follow. So let's start typing. I'm not looking at the screen at all, I'm just typing as I would normally. And I'm not even looking at what they're suggesting for words because I want to see how accurately the handset picks up what I'm trying to type. Right, so I typed in, this is my test of the Sony Ericsson Aino, and it's done a fairly good job there. The only word it's got wrong, which is rather funny actually, it wasn't intentional, is it swapped Aino for the word agony. So this is my test, and then instead of it put me, the Sony Ericsson agony. So not bad at all. I must say that whilst you're texting, it's worth noting that I've been used to using a touchscreen keyboard for so long now that when I go back to this physical keyboard at the bottom with predictive texting, it certainly doesn't feel as natural anymore. Just wanted to also show you that down the bottom of the screen here, when you're texting, you've got a nice sort of icon driven interface across the bottom where I can add a picture, an animation, a video, a sound. I can go to the camera to take a quick picture, or I can record a voice memo and obviously send that SMS as a multimedia message. So nice way of adding extra bits to your texts. So I'm going to go back, and I'm not going to save that. So fairly accurate. I think that's a good representation of how good the keyboard is on the Aino. Now I want to show you some of the multimedia playback features. Video playback, it supports MPEG-4, H.263 and H.264, and music, it supports MP3 files. Now there are two ways, or in fact three ways you can get into playing perhaps a music file back. I can go into my main menu, and then I can go into music here, or if I go back out to the main home screen here, I've got a shortcut key to media, and this presents me with a scrolling list of various music files, games, TV, web feeds, photos, etc. But I'm going to show you some music playback. And then in here I'm going to go into artists, and then I've got some that have been pre-installed, and then I've got my Black Eyed Peas tracks that I dragged over via a Bluetooth connection. It took quite a while to put the tracks over. Bluetooth's not that fast, but I did also drag some video files across to show you in a short while. So this is the first track. And as it's playing, I'm presented with some different controls for this rocker switch on the keyboard. So this corresponds to what I can do with this. On the side I've got a rocker switch for volume, so I can put the volume up to give you an idea of how loud this handset goes.
This version of myself is not permanent. Tomorrow I will be different.
So a nice loud speaker on the Aino, and also it does obviously have an accelerometer in, as you saw briefly there. If I rotate the handset round to landscape use, then the screen does move around as well. Okay, if I go back it still continues playing. And if I go back into the track, it does actually start playing from the beginning, which is rather frustrating. Let's pause that and go back one section. Let's go back out to that main menu actually. And while I'm in this menu, it's also worth noting that I can actually rotate into landscape mode, and the menu will switch round as well. And as I also mentioned, there are various ways you can get into your media. This was using the main media software with the handset open. But if I go all the way back out to my main home screen and then close the handset, then it does present you with this touchscreen interface. So now the screen will accept input from my finger. So I'm not going to show you another music track. For this one I'm going to move on to video playback. So let's pop into video. Let's tap on videos, and here I can scroll across a list of videos. There's some that Sony Ericsson have put on here, and if I just go across a bit more, I've also got a 720p version of Up and also a 480p version of Up. I would like to just stress that it will play back the 720p version, but it does stutter a little bit. I think the processor inside the handset is struggling a little bit with the information, but it will play it back. But in my mind, I would stick with the 480p version. Now whilst it's playing, I can tap on the screen. I get an email function, so I can send this via a message to somebody. I can skip backwards and forwards, I can pause, I can put it in the trash, or I can go back to my home screen. I can also, if I just get that on, I can also drag across to another point in the movie. And this is a gorgeous screen. I've been watching this trailer on other handsets that I'm testing, and this is a smaller screen, yes, at the 3 inches and a lower resolution, but the colour rendition on this Sony Aino screen is absolutely fantastic. It's one of the most accurate colour reproductions I've seen on the mobile phones that I've been testing lately. So very smooth playback. I'm going to actually show you something that's not animation, so let's go back out to this main screen, and I'm going to show you a little trailer of something with some actual people in, so you get an idea of how it handles this. Let's drag across to a central position. Now I think that is very good playback, more than usable. I can also zoom that out to fill the screen as well, so that you're not getting the black bars top and bottom. But for me, the playback of media is more than acceptable. I couldn't actually get this to connect via USB to my Mac, so I had to transfer the files via Bluetooth, which was a bit of a shame because it took quite a long time. But that said, it's more than usable. You could also use a card reader really to drag the files across to the handset, because as well as the 55 meg of internal memory, you can expand it with micro SD card. So it's easy enough just to pop that card out and drag your files across in that way. So let's go back out to the home screen. If I want to go up a level, I just tap slightly above, and then up another level, tap slightly above again. Now I'm going to show you some of the pictures I've already taken, and then I'm also going to show you the camera actually in use. So this is one that I took earlier. I always take one of a keyboard. It shows how it picks up the white, so it's a nicely exposed picture. Now I can drag across using this touchscreen interface, which is nice. This is a photo of the Acer Liquid, and then I've got a couple of pictures of a Ricoh digital camera which I'm reviewing. The accelerometer, again, it's got mixed up so that it displayed that in the wrong orientation originally, and now I can't drag from left to right because it thinks I've got the phone the other way, so I have to drag up and down. So a little bit mixed up sometimes, but more than usable. So let's pop back out and then back up one menu, back out to that nice home screen with the glowing icons. Very user-friendly interface and a joy to use. So now I'm going to show you the camera in use, and there's actually a shortcut button on the top here. So if I hold that in, then you're presented with the camera interface. Now before I actually show you me taking a photo, I just want to show you a little bit of the interface. Top left hand corner here, we can choose between still, video capture, or viewing back what I've already taken. It takes very good stills, 8.1 megapixels. It's got autofocus, digital 16 times zoom, LED flash. When in video mode, as we are here now, the video stabilizer kicks in, so it will steady the shot a bit, and it captures at 640 by 480, 25 frames per second. But let's go into still mode. So we're taking some still photos, and then here I can tap on this settings icon, and then on here, and this actually, just bear with me, and this icon here lets me change from auto scene mode to some preset scenes. So they give you portrait, twilight, sports mode, snow scenes, landscape, twilight, or taking a picture of a document. I'll leave it on auto. And then we've got a macro mode, we've got face detection, auto mode, which where it tries to intelligently address what you're taking a picture of, or infinite focus. And then we've got some flash modes. It's set to off at the moment, or auto. We've got self timer mode. We've got resolution modes. At the moment it's set to 6 megapixels 16:9 capture. I can set it to 8 megapixel 4:3 if I wish. And then we've got a flag mode as well, so you can flag and protect certain photos. So let's close that down, and let's actually take a photo using the Sony Ericsson Aino. Let's put my little mate underneath the camera. Now we're in macro mode, so it should focus quite close. I'm going to half press that shutter, and it's gone green, so it's focused on, and it's taken the photo. Now I was moving a little bit there, but it seems to have captured it very nicely. So let's say we're going to keep that. So let's go back one section to the camera, and then in this one I'm going to go back into my settings, and I'm going to set that flash to auto just to see if it does fire. And then let's line this photo up again and focus, and the flash did actually fire that time. Now I wanted to do that for a purpose. I wanted to show you exactly how this works. So let's go back out one section. So it's going back to the camera. Close the camera down, and I'm just going to go into my photos here. And I wanted to just show you that this one here, let's look at the one that was taken without the flash. Very nicely composed, good colour to it. Let's just tap on it again, and let's zoom in a little bit. So we're going to just zoom into an area there. So some good definition. I think that's very, very good quality. Excellent, in fact. So you've got some good detail there. It's picked up very crisp lines around here. And then let's go back to full view, and now I just want to look at that one with the flash, and the flash has really blown the photo completely. So we were quite close, and it's obviously reflected off the blue, but far from acceptable result there. But I do find that with a lot of these mobile phone cameras and regular cameras as well, if you're using the flash too close to your subject, you're going to get blown features like that. As a fill-in flash, it may well have served the purpose a lot better. So that was my look at the media playback, camera and texting abilities of the Sony Ericsson Aino. Just to recap, I like the camera. It's a very good quality camera, some great results, great colour and great detail. I like the media playback. It seems to handle 480p files more than adequately, and the music playback, again, not fantastic. I'm used to an iPod, so I'm going to stick with my iPod personally, but if you want to carry around just one device, then it will play back your MP3 files adequately. Sound quality is pretty good as well. Well, thanks very much for listening. Come back soon and check out more reviews on the Geekanoids channel.
This video review is sponsored by Academy Class, the UK's premier creative IT training centre, authorised by Adobe, Apple and Autodesk.